Today, boys and girls, I am going to show you how to get your paper ready and how to trace your tracer so that you have all 12 colors on your tracer traced on your paper ready for painting. So it is the goal today to finish this so that next week we can begin painting in our color wheel. So the first thing we need to do is we need to fold this paper in half twice. So watch me first, please, before you do it. So your paper should be down, rulers, pencils, whatever it is you have at your table should be, you shouldn't be touching, just paying attention. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my paper down and I'm going to make sure that I match my corners and my bottom. Now I know I've taught this for you before, but I always like to review. I'm going to hold my paper in the middle, nice and tight with my fingers. I'm pressing down, and then take my other hand and I'm going to come up and over and up and over. Once you have that done, you're going to turn your paper vertically and you are going to fold again. So what you should have when you're done, again, holding your fingers in the middle, what you should have is a square. So right now, I would like for you to pause the video. We're going to pause the video and you're going to do that step. Pause here. Now that we've done this step, we are now going to open our paper. And when we open our paper, you're going to see that there are two fold lines, one in the middle and one along the edge, so vertically and horizontally. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your item and you are going to start on the vertical line. This is going to be the yellow. So this is going to be the first one you do. Now, as you do this, if I were to put this here, you might notice that if I'm going to end up tracing this here, I'm going to trace on all four folds right in the middle. So if I were to put this here and then trace this again here, if you look at how thick these bottoms are, there might not be enough room to put two in. So I'm actually going to flip my piece up and down like that. Because I know if I flip it up and down, this gives me much more space than this does in here. And if you have something like a car, so let's just pretend that I had a car and there were wheels down here, I would not want to be putting the car this way. I would want to be placing the car vertically on. So the car is going to end up with the wheels down here. The car is going to end up rotating with the wheels, and it's always going to go the same way. So as I mentioned, I'm going to start. I do not want to trace way down here. This is not going to be enough room. So I'm going to trace towards the top. I'm leaving just a little space. I'm centering my tracer on that center fold, and I'm going to go in and I am going to trace your tracer. So you want to make sure that you're holding this down, that your tracer is not shifting. And if you might notice how I am moving my fingers around in order for my pencil to work. Once I'm done, to make sure that my tracer is being traced properly, I'm going to lift my tracer up. I'm going to turn my paper. I'm going to set it back down again on the fold, just like I just did, and I'm going to trace again. When you're done tracing, lift up, back down, and trace. Hardest part of this is remembering to hold your tracer so that it doesn't shift and that you're able to get all the way around your tracer. So one thing I want you to notice, I never ever, even if I'm lifting up my fingers, there's always a finger on my tracer keeping it in place so it doesn't shift. So we're going to stop the video right here. We're going to pause the video and you're going to do this much. Now that you've completed tracing on all four lines, notice I have quite a bit of space in here. Now, if you think of this as a clock, here's number 12, here's 3, 6, and 9. So I need to put 2 inside here. As we talked about, the color wheel is like a clock. So I'm going to take this I'm going to put my tracer here so I know that it's going in the same way. And then I'm going to just tilt my paper and I'm going to place my tracer. So do you see how I have enough room here and I have enough room here? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this down. I'm going to hold it and I'm going to trace right here. And so what you're going to do is you're going to, oops, I forgot to do the circle there, so I'm going to just line my tracer back up, making sure it matches, add the little circle. So once you have done these two, then you're going to turn your paper and you're going to put 2 more here, and 2 more here, and 2 more here, till it is all done. Once you have this complete, and you have all 12 in the proper space, then you're going to turn your paper over and put your name on the back. Notice a tracer, 1 tracer on each fold, and then 2 tracers in the middle between each one. Only 2, no more than 2, just 2 in the middle here. Then once you have this done, I'm going to suggest that you keep this in your envelope because you never know if you make a mistake and you need this again. So let's hold on to your tracer for just another day just to make sure. So this will go back in your envelope. This will go in your table folder. And next week we will start painting.